5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Blerdiverse, we back with another one. Me, the homie Just. We about to check out who was the most powerful Sith Lord in all Star Wars. Now, heck, I don't know if y'all checked out some of the newer shows. Some of them is on point, some of them is mid. My thing is they are milking a cow at this point, as far as like, hey man, it's a little bit of Star Wars overload and all that other stuff. But I mean, heck, it's good content, but at the same time, I'm like, are y'all put like my thing is the only thing they're doing some stuff to push the lore forward, but my thing is they're doing only thing they're still doing is going back to the same stories and just trying to fill stuff out. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Well, the thing is, I mean, there is a lot of Star Wars content out, but that Obi-Wan, that honestly, that really fulfilled what I needed after you watch seeing Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
It gives you the fulfillment you need of what came after, you know.
Hello there.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
But so I appreciate that. I haven't been able to check out everything like Boba Fett and everything, but I hope I get around to it. What else? But I mean, y'all know us by now. We Star Wars boys. We love Star Wars. You know, don't get us wrong. You know, but it's like when you grow up with this type of thing, you know, you want to make sure it still stays in a way sacred. You know.
Yeah.
But George Lucas has his own vision for what this is and everything. It seems like he's been planning this out since basically since like he ended like
the original series,
the original stories back in Revenge of the Sith and everything. But yeah, I appreciate the content, you know. But yeah, let's see what his creative vision is going for. I know they still have the Ahsoka joint that's still supposed to be airing. I don't know when, but hey, oh yeah, but hey, Obi-Wan is fire. Obi-Wan is fire.
I mean, my thing is, it was a good reprieve for all prequel fans and everything. Because, I mean, our generation was. I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't finished it yet, but I have seen like technically the whole series. I've been spoiled because it fucking YouTube.
Damn.
Speaking of which, YouTube, I'm gonna need you niggas to stop putting shit in niggas' recommended feed for shows that they are watching or whatever. And I'm like, bruh, you give somebody full spoilers like, oh, so and so dies or so and so does this. I'm like,
that's what happened to me.
I didn't ask for this.
Yeah, that's actually what happened to me. I was just like, and that's how I ended up just like, all right, let's just watch this show if that's gonna be the case. Because if y'all are gonna be, it was like an overload on YouTube with like spoilers and everything. People were talking about this is why this is happening, this is why the theories and everything, and I was just like, all right, let me get on the show.
Like even for movies and everything, I remember when Spider-Man came out, I saw Spider-Man opening night and shit, bro. How I get spoiled on opening night, shit premiere Thursday. I already saw YouTube spoilers of like, oh, so and so dies and so does this, and I'm like, wait a minute. No. Why am I seeing this right now? The movie ain't even premiered yet. But like, yeah,
you saw it opening night and got spoiled. How's that?
Damn. Yes, like YouTube be like people on YouTube be on it like just posting clips, and I'm like, and the thing is, the algorithm they just push it to your feed. I'm like, bro, you ain't got to push it to my feed. You can wait the recommended time and say, all right, let me make sure these videos don't come out to anybody. But I'm like, whatever.
And the thing is, the internet is so fast. It's like they must have the director's cut or something. They must be mean,
it premieres to different places and everything quicker than like what's saying before it premieres to the global audience and everything. But at the same point in time, like the fact that it was already there, and I was like, bro, why am I seeing this? I'm going to see this movie tonight. I got spoiled from parts of it. I'm like, come on. I don't want to see no more. So I just turn off YouTube for the rest of the day. Saw the movie. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Speaking of which, Spider-Man is the best movie of Phase 4. There's bar none. All other movies, I'm still worried about what Marvel's really doing for Phase 4 because it's a little all over the place as far as that. But
I am still waiting on that Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. That's what I'm waiting on.
Definitely.
Like I'm waiting for that joint.
Yes. I need it in that vein. I need it to be I need you to pay homage to the classic, but at the same time do your own thing.
Yeah.
Pay some homage, but you don't have to do verbatim because we already have the old movie. But I just need pay a little homage. That heck, I need you. What you wanted to do with Doctor Strange, you can do with this movie, but you don't have to do the whole goofy stuff. I need serious guts, gore. He might crack a wisecrack every now and again, but I need serious guts and gore for this shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what Blade is, man.
Yeah,
it's funny because I remember RDC made a video of like literally a Blade talking about, y'all think I wouldn't be able to take on Cap? Set it up.
Captain America.
But I fight vampires that's stronger than Thanos. And Captain America, set it up then.
Okay, first of all,
set it up.
Those vampires that you fight are.
I ain't gonna talk too much. Set it up.
Set it up. They were like, bro, I don't think you want that. I mean, you kind of soft. You like.
What? I mean, I remember seeing that video too. I was like, come on, y'all disrespecting Blade now. Don't get me wrong. Cap super strength, enhanced, like he has augmented strength, speed, and all other stuff and everything. Cool. Blade has had vampire.
Yeah, Blade is
he has that shit too, and he can move and all the other stuff. He out here slashing, dashing, light with quick speed, all that and everything. So he can box with Cap.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That's basically what he was saying. He was like, you can't box with Cap, bro. He was just like, set it up.
Yeah, set it up. Like he put the sword down. They can run the ones, and it will be a good fight. Only reason why I say Cap will win is because Cap is more of like, he has more fighting for him, but at the same time, Blade, because Blade is trade in like literally in the name Blade. As far as that, he got some good hand-to-hand stuff, but I give Cap a slight edge. High difficulty, slight edge, if anything. But at the same time, I can still see Blade winning that shit.
Yeah, unless we see like otherwise, in like whenever it does happen in like the new Mahershala, if they show like some other skills or something like that, where he puts the blade down, you never know. We might be looking at like some new skill sets that besides him holding them blades or something like that, because again, he's a vampire. There's come on, there's so much you can do with that.
Yes. The heck, bro. Back to Star Wars. You about to see who's the most powerful Sith Lord of all time. Well, all the Star Wars. I mean, it's got to. Well, I mean, in the lore, there's a lot of other Sith Lords. As far as besides Sidious and Vader, you got Cad Bane. Well, not Cad Bane. Bane, Darth Plagueis, all those other folks and everything.
Oh, Darth Plagueis. Yeah.
I mean, my thing is only people as far as movie wise and all this stuff. We got Sidious as far as Palpatine, Dooku, Maul, and Snoke, and what's the name? Ren, and Vader.
Yeah,
Vader. It got to be probably top one's got to either be Vader or Sidious, really.
Vader or for me, I choose Vader. I mean, the whole series was based on how he was like supposed to be the ultimate.
He was and is like, you understand. Every time you see that man and everything, all you gotta hear is,
bro. They made him like everything that has surrounded Vader in the shows or in the movies. They have made him too cold, man. Like he just be walking. Even in Rogue, man, he had like two scenes, and he just.
You just see that lightsaber just light up, and then it's like it's just a dark room. You see that lightsaber light up, and he just start running it.
No.
Hello there.
Wee!
Choke on your aspirations.
Another happy landing.
Oh man, do you remember in Rogue One where like the dude was on that remote place and everything? It was one of his own general, and he was talking at a term.
He was talking that shit, and my man was just.
My man's whole back was turned, and then you just see the man's face freeze up and everything, and he turns around and is just like, I would be a little. It was just like I wouldn't be talking out of term if I was you. And
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, dang, man, he brought that in there, man. Nobody was
Yeah,
choking people out like that with just like
yeah.
just the two hands, man, the two fingers,
He
man.
choking folks. He like my thing is like what's saying. He out here pulling ships down with no
Bro,
force. He out here deflecting beams effortlessly. And after that, like I said, that
that
scene
was
in Rogue
crazy,
One at the end where they were in the fucking what's that now fucking hallway and everything, pitch black.
bro.
You just see that J turn on. It's like you just know it's right there. It's up. It's up.
Bro, and it's like everybody on that ship is already sweating, man. They're literally sweating and holding their breaths, and it's like that moment where they just see like that red lightsaber was crazy, man. I was just like, bro,
Shit was crazy.
come on, man.
I'm here. But let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Of the Sith clearly stated that power and strength were the most important goals of any Dark Lord. In many ways, the pursuit of ever more power was not just a selfish or greedy objective. For the Sith, it was a deeply spiritual one. They believed that through power, their chains would be broken, freeing them from mortal inevitabilities such as death that they saw as a form.
Also, you know the reason why they always had two, right?
To what?
They only had two Sith at a time.
Yeah, apparently it was just like always like a fight for power and how
Yeah.
they were just basically like I mean, who's always going to be who on top, really? And I mean, you know, that's cool, but
I
imagine
think it's
having
not
like
sustainable.
having like a actual Sith army of folks and Jedi. I mean, well, not Jedi, but like of their own like people with like ready to run it. Like, cause like the Jedi, they got their counselor and everything, and you know,
Yeah.
these folks are never in the same room as each other. It's just like, how big does y'all egos have to be that y'all never want to be in the same room as each
I mean,
other?
like what's in Jedi, it was about okay, let's build a brotherhood and all that other stuff. And yeah, the egos did get big. That's the reason why like it led to the downfall of the Jedi and all that other
Yeah.
shit. But with the Sith, on the other hand, it's basically we're dark figures and everything. I'm the master, you're my protege. I'm training you up. But the thing is, in the Sith lore, is that the protege has to take over the master, and it's not like I hand over to you, I retire and shit.
No,
Is that we have to run this shit, and
Like-
whoever comes out on top comes out on top. And if you don't come, like if my protege doesn't come out on top, he's gone. He or she is gone. I get a new protege, or the protege comes out on top, becomes a new master, and searches for a new apprentice and everything as time goes along. The only reason why Vader and Sidious lasted so long is because Vader wanted to try. Like if you look in the lore in the comics and all this stuff, Vader was trying shit. It's just that he was never able to catch that man slip because he's like, yeah, I know what you want. I know you want to run it with me, but I'm gonna always stay one step ahead of you. And if you ever think you gonna get slick on me, we can run it back. And after that, like what's saying, he wasn't really like so Vader still kept that a leash. And at that, even like when they got Luke in, he was training Luke to be his replacement. But like while Vader was like, no, I want you to be my protege, and I'll take over for Sidious and everything. But we know how that ended. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the reason why. Like they always keep two because of that reason. So like it can never be multiple. Like they had like the Knights of Ren. That's like they're not even technically considered as Sith Lords. They're in the ranking to become apprentices to Sith Lords, but they're like right below.
Yeah, like, and it was always like the protege started plotting on the master too.
Facts.
It was never like, you know, like you said, it was never handed to him.
Yep.
But hey,
praying on your downfall.
Yeah.
Form of slavery. The Sith existed within the galaxy in one form or another for hundreds of thousands of years. But out of the thousands of Sith that have ever existed, who was the most successful in achieving the Sith's stated goals of unlimited power? In today's video, we will discuss the most powerful of the Sith Lords, before concluding which Sith truly held the most power. Of course, power can take many forms, with different Sith utilizing different abilities and skills to exact their will upon others. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe with the notification bell on for future videos. Over the next few weeks, I'll have a video on the most powerful bounty hunter, as well as a super long video on all 60 lightsaber crystals explained. I also have a 10% discount over on VF Sabers if you use the code SITH10 at the checkout. I've left a link in the description if you want to add a beautiful new saber to your collection. Anyway, that's enough self-promotion for today.
I mean, it might be a nice Christmas present. I'm interested. I always wanted to get that in a katana.
Yeah, I wanted I remember when I went to one of these places, Third Eye Comic,
Mhm.
and they have like the Sword Art Online one. I want the Zoro katanas. Them joints are hard.
I either want to get like I want to get Emma. Give me Emma.
Oh, okay, all right.
Give
all
me.
right.
Oh, speaking of, you know what I'm about to ask.
You know, it's been hectic, bro.
You got almost 3 weeks
I do.
before it starts back for the final arc.
This can't be the end, man. I guarantee Oda is just throwing off for a loop or something, bro. He always does, man.
Bruh, we do not want him to go like what's saying. We don't want him to drop. You understand? Lately, a lot of manga artists been dropping.
What you mean?
I mean, let me see. Yu-Gi-Oh dropped. Mirror dropped like last year or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and
that was sad.
some other folks and all that and everything. And my thing is, other folks have had Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter. Both the offers had health issues and shit like that. And the thing is, I'd rather them finish their stories, get them out the way they wanted it to get out, than pass it on to somebody. Because my thing is, like, what's saying for Berserk, Brightside, the guy who's taking over for him, has seen the end of Berserk and everything and can interpret and put it toward that story. But the thing is, there might be some slight variations and some stuff that the real author would have done differently. And I'd rather them fully get it out while they're alive instead of, okay, I'm dead. Somebody has to pick up from where I left off. And after that.
Yeah, I would not want that because if someone creates a story and it's just him and someone just picks it up after, like, you know, their death, you don't really know what their actual vision creative vision was.
You can read like what they want, but like my thing is they might have done like their interpretation of how things would have been drawn or characterizations, all that might have been a little bit different than what you have read and everything. Because like stuff, everything's subjective and everything as far as drawings, all the other stuff and everything.
Exactly.
So, like,
or even like when it gets like an adaptation and everything and how they want like things to be like directed or anything, like they might even not want you like what parts do I want to be intense, what parts do I want to be shown right here, like, or just like, do I even want his face showing when he's saying these lines, or like, or is it gonna just be a close-up? It's really all about like how that creative execution was all about to be gone about by that person, you know. But yeah,
but we'll see. But yeah, you 3 weeks, man, catch up.
Let's get on with the video.
I'll try.
We will begin with a very ancient Sith. In fact,
so
many
he's going into
consider
the
him
lore
to be
then. Okay.
the first Sith Lord and remember him as the Sith Chosen One. King Adas lived almost 30,000 years before the Clone Wars on the planet Korriban. This was a time of great hardship for the Sith species and the wider galaxy.
Yeah, bro, he's going into the lore. Because I was wondering why this video. I was like, I look at it, I was like, this is gonna be a long video. I mean, he's about to go into each individual, like, as far as like the show and everything. Because the show we had Dooku, Ventress, Sidious, Maul, Vader, and Ren. As far as the movies and the shows, he's going into the lore, and the lore.
Yeah, I thought he was about to start with like Plagueis and then go from there, and then
my man, he going deep in the lore and deep in the lore.
All right.
Like, I'm down for it.
Let's wanna
see. Many star systems were under the iron grip of the Rakata, a dark side wielding species with advanced technological abilities. King Adas was the first Sith to unite the warring Sith clans, but soon after faced a full-scale invasion by the Rakata. If you want to know the details of Adas and the Sith-Rakata war, then check out this video on screen now. The most important detail to note for this video is that King Adas and the Sith armies actually beat the Rakata, the first species in over 10,000 years to actually do so. This was largely due to Adas' own great power and leadership skills. Not only was he a master swordsman, he was also a master in many abilities that were anathema to the Sith of the Clone Wars era. This included dark-side alchemy and other forms of Sith magic. However, as so little is known about this ancient Sith Lord, his true power is unknown. Nevertheless, his achievement in being the first leader to successfully repel the Rakata, the creators of the Star Forge, suggests he was indeed very powerful and a strong contender for the most powerful Sith Lord. Next, we have another ancient Sith, Tulak Hord. Like Adas, he was known for his skill with Sith magic and alchemy. However, this was not what made him a contender for the most powerful Sith Lord of all time. Tulak Hord was considered by many to be the most skilled duelist of all time. Darth Revan's master, Darth Treya, agreed
I mean, I see like the inspiration like behind Vader and everything.
Yeah, I definitely see it.
with this sentiment.
Yeah, like like I can see like in the armor, like from the first dude and the second dude, like you can see kind of like the thing as far as like the mask.
Yeah. I definitely see that. I thought this person that's on the screen right now, I thought this was Ventress, actually.
I thought somebody else, but yeah.
Remarking to Mitra Surik that if you were to face an ancient Sith Lord in combat, you would learn that we are as children playing with toys, compared to the prowess of the old masters. Although when exactly he ruled the Sith Empire has been lost to history, it is known that he ruled over one of the Sith Empire's golden ages. It is said that he personally broke the sieges laid down by the Jedi on Imperial strongholds. This led to the death of over 1,000 Jedi Knights, with Horde eventually going on to conquer over 100 worlds for the Sith
That's
Empire.
Vader inspired.
He was also known to utilize the Force Drain ability, similar to Darth Nihilus, a Sith we will discuss later on in this video. During battle, he would strip the life force of those around him to replenish his own power while also weakening his opponents. It is also stated that he downed a Star Destroyer using only the power of his mind, similar to Starkiller from The Force Unleashed. Another contender for the most powerful Sith Lord is Darth Andedu. In some ways, Andedu was the creator of many dark side abilities that would later be utilized by many Sith Lords. He was a master of Sith alchemy, telekinesis, and Force illusions. However, most importantly of all, he was the creator of Transfer Essence, a way in which the Sith could cheat death.
Yeah.
Darth Andedu rose in power and prominence during the old Sith Empire, with
Like that's how, well, basically, because this stuff is like, this is like lore. So basically the lore goes like as far as comics / the games and everything and all that. Now
I had the book for this back in the day. The lore of it.
The lore goes as
but
far
this
as
was
like
but this was like back when I was in elementary school.
Yep, same.
So I'm trying to
Like,
recollect all this.
Because like I remember when my thing is when they explained how Palpatine lived, at first I was like, wait, that isn't okay. That I thought about in the lore sense. But my thing is, the thing with the sequels that were bad is that they want to take stuff from the lore, then change it, then after that say they're referencing it. My thing is you can't reference something and then change it. It's just that messes up the whole reference to begin with. That's like me saying, okay, sky is blue, but after that, no. I'm referencing the sky is blue, but it's really red. That don't make sense. But yeah, so basically, like the whole thing was that Palpatine, when he had died on what's in the like Death Star or whatever in the last of the original series, is that he transferred his essence somewhere else and everything to another place. And like as far as the Sith stronghold that he had hidden from Vader and all that other shit, and stayed there under stasis for a while, and then like I said, it gets more convoluted. They grew Snoke.
Okay.
Remember, like let's say Rise of Skywalker, you saw like Snoke, like some Snoke clones or some shit like that inside. They grew Snoke and everything from all that, everything, and after that, he's like, all right, cool. He transferred his essence over there, survived, and it was like, all right, cool. I'm biding my time. I'm letting Snoke do his thing. Let me see if he can do his thing. And after that, okay, that didn't turn out right. Failsafe activated since Snoke didn't do his thing. Let me handle the shit myself. I have a whole legion of shit ready. And I'm like, kind of okay, but at the same time, a little bit of a stretch, which is, don't get into, like, my thing is Rise of Skywalker, that's just a horrible movie to begin with, but we're not going to go there. I mean, that whole sequel trilogy, ass.
Hey, hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
2 packs. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
many at the time regarding him with fear and jealousy. Darth Andedu became fearful and paranoid of his Sith brethren rising up and stealing his power, and so he guarded his newfound abilities from the rest of the Order. Andedu was eventually proven correct, when many lesser Sith banded together to overthrow him. Andedu fled from Korriban to his homeworld of Prakeeth, creating a false tomb to make the other Sith believe he had perished. Taking over his homeworld, Andedu took the modest name of the immortal God King of Prakeeth, ruling over it for many centuries. Eventually, the Dark Lord was consumed by his own paranoia, and so he chose to die. And Edu would rather die with all the knowledge he had acquired than live and one day see it fall to his enemies.
Yep.
And Edu believed that true power came not from his body, but from his mind, meaning that if he
Which is
believed
true.
something to be true, it would manifest itself in reality.
I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, Sith in nature, more selfish.
Yeah.
We want to conquer shit, but at the same time, I don't fuck. Like, listen, you may be my boy, but I don't fuck with you.
Yeah. They're snakes. They're all snakes.
Yeah.
And that's what gets them messed up.
This allowed him to live in a ghost form for thousands of years up until the next Sith Lord would discuss Sith after. Instead of the rule of two, Krayt instigated the rule of one, whereby he would rule over many lesser Sith through his immense power. Krayt had significant power in the Force,
Wait a
able to
minute.
use.
Wait a minute.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Look like Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat.
I see it. Dang. Wow. I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Oh, no. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. I'm like, ain't that Shao Kahn? What you doing in Star Wars, my nigga? You in the wrong universe.
Force lightning and force heal to great effect. On one occasion, he was able to easily defeat Cade Skywalker, the grandson of Luke Skywalker, using nothing but the power of the Force. His power was so great that every other lesser Sith.
My thing is, this stuff like they can push out for later and everything, but I wonder. Like, my thing is, it's pushing the lore forward because, like I said, a lot of new stuff that's came out. Only thing it does is it pushes the lore forward a little bit, but its only thing it's doing is it's doing only things in probably as far as this is what happened between the prequels and the sequels, or this is what happened between the prequels and the original series, or this is what happened between the original series and the the sequels.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we got to push the series forward. So let's go past the sequels.
Yeah.
Let's get some new characters out here, some new fresh designs. We can take some of the stuff from the lore, but take it a step further. We can add new stuff and everything, be a little bit more inventive and all that.
I think they're trying to do that, but in such a really gradual way, though.
Yeah, but my thing is like Mandalorian, Kenobi, all these shows. These are all because like what's a Mandalorian? That's after that's what's the name? Mandalorian. That's let me see. Mandalorian happens because that's the same time as Boba Fett. That's after the original series, but before the that's after. Is it after? No, it's after the original series, but before the sequels. While Kenobi is after the original, after the prequels, before the original series.
Mandalorian? Wait, hold on. Say that again real quick, bro.
Mandalorian is after the original series, but before the prequels.
Okay.
No. My bad. Mando is after the original series, but before the sequels. Because they had Luke Skywalker and everything in that and everything, because he comes to get Grogu and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's after the original series, but before the sequels. Kenobi is after the prequels, as far as Revenge of the Sith and everything, but before the original series. Because remember, original series was told first that we came back in like the early, like the 90s and everything, to talk about the prequels as far as like, who's Anakin Skywalker, how he becomes Darth Vader. Then we have the sequels, which is like more in advance after the original series, like what's happening with Luke, Leia, and Han now, and they got kids and this and that and everything and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Could feel his presence within the galaxy, leaving them fearful and subservient to the Dark Lord. He is also one of the few mortals to battle Abeloth and live to tell the tale, although he did receive help from Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. Luke himself was also fearful of this Dark Lord, despite his many insane force feats seen in Legends. Due to his rule of one Sith, he
I know that ain't who I think it is.
also held significant political power, destroying the new
Was that
Jedi
Jacob?
Order and ruling over most of the galaxy. Like Andedu,
Yeah, man. This is like what's same part of the like. This is more lore stuff as far as comics and everything.
I saw jigging for a second there.
Oh, you thought? Yeah, you look like him a little bit. I saw that. Like
You
it's
saw
like the eye,
the
cause the eye and
yeah.
shit. Yeah, I peep.
I was
But
like,
yeah,
jigging.
I was like, gee, who else? Like, what's it? First Shao Kahn, now Jigen. Why y'all out here hopping in other people's universes?
Man, that's funny.
That's funny. Now my man out here looking like Doomsday from Superman.
he was also
I mean, that's what happened. Like that's what happens to Sith though. It's more as far as they get more power and everything, they get more grotesque and more, what's saying, weird looking.
a master of essence transfer and other dark side healing techniques. After being struck down by Darth Warlock, he was able to resurrect himself from death using Dark Transfer, an ability that also magnified his power in the Force while allowing him to use his old body. Using the dark side, Great was able to live for almost 200 years, and likely would have lived longer if he had not been killed and vanquished by Cade Skywalker. We will move on to the most famous and arguably the most successful Sith of all. In Legends, a reborn Palpatine was highly skilled in the Force Storm ability. Palpatine was able to use this power to ravage the surface of planets, destroy whole fleets of starships, and teleport individuals thousands of light years across the galaxy. Theoretically, he could even use this power to move people or himself through time. Palpatine was also proficient in the use of Sith alchemy and Sith magic, although this was not his greatest strength, as so much Sith knowledge regarding these techniques had been lost by the time of the Imperial era. Despite this, Sidious was able to discover the ability of essence transfer, whereby he would dominate the mind of an individual and completely take over their body, granting him a form of immortality. Palpatine was also highly skilled in all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, going toe-to-toe with Yoda and defeating Maul and Savage Opress with relative ease. Palpatine was also a master manipulator, in part due to his ability to cloak himself using the Force, but also due to his intelligence and charisma. This meant Sidious was the only Sith to succeed in destroying the Republic, allowing him to utilize the galaxy's worth of resources to create many dark-side abominations and technological terrors. While this is obviously not his own direct power, his skills as a Machiavellian politician certainly granted him more power than any dark-side ability ever did. Although his political power likely eclipses his power in the Force, this doesn't mean his powers should be discounted. During his final death, it took the combined might of all the deceased Jedi to vanquish his spirit to chaos and prevent him from ravaging the galaxy once again. Next up, we have another strong contender, Darth Vitiate. Darth Vitiate was also highly skilled in dominating the minds of his opponents, even more so than Palpatine. He was so powerful that he dominated the minds of 8,000 fellow Sith, using it to create a ritual that consumed their spirits and destroyed the entire planet of Nethema. Vitiate did this to grant himself near immortality and increase his dark side power, feeding upon their spirits to live for 1,000 years. Vitiate's ultimate goal was to repeat this ritual, only this time using all power in the galaxy to grant him unlimited power. The ancient Sith Emperor was one of the most notable users of Sith alchemy and Sith magic, utilizing many Sith artifacts and rituals to grant him a stronger connection to the dark side. Just like Sidious, Andedu, and Crate, Vitiate could use essence transfer, but to a much greater degree, as well as transferring his consciousness to others when he was killed. He could also place parts of his spirit within unsuspecting victims. Most notably, he used this power to take over the mind of Valkorion, using the body to create the Eternal Empire in the unknown regions, even as he ruled over the Sith Empire. In regards to his lightsaber skills, this was not his strong suit. While he was very skilled, he relied on the fact he had various doppelgangers to prevent himself from dying, focusing on achieving power through the dark side rather than through lightsaber combat. Just like Palpatine, Vitiate's spirit was finally condemned to chaos by the combined might of many fallen Jedi, finally ending the ancient Sith's millennia-long rule. And last of all, we have Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger. Unlike other Sith, Nihilus did not want to rule the galaxy. In a way, he was similar to Vitiate, wanting to use his powers to consume all life in the galaxy. As he was a wound in the Force itself, Nihilus did not require the use of complex rituals to wreak havoc on the galaxy, and could consume the entire life force of a planet using only his mind. Nihilus was not very skilled with a lightsaber when compared to other Sith Lords, but made up for it with his terrifying Force powers, and was even able to sever his opponent's connection to the Force as he did with his master, Darth Vader. Nihilus
Damn,
was
that's crazy.
unlike any other Sith, with the dark side consuming his entire body until only his dark soul remained. In this way, he was more akin to a dark side entity, like the Sun or Abeloth. Nihilus was even able to live on after death as a Force ghost, a feat that was rarely achieved by any Sith. So, who was the most powerful? Well, it depends on your definition of power, and what you believe to be the most important. In terms of lightsaber combat, Tulak Horde or Darth Krayt were likely the most skilled, with Palpatine a close contender. Nihilus and Vitiate are likely on equal footing when it comes to lightsaber combat, while Endedu is in last place. Adas did not wield a lightsaber as they had not been invented yet, although his skill with his legendary axe likely meant he was up there with Tulak Horde and Krayt when it came to melee combat. When it comes to skill with the Force, the top spot has to go to Vitiate. While Endedu, Tulak Horde and Adas were all powerful Sith sorcerers, likely of equal skill, Vitiate was the one who perfected these spells and rituals. However, after the death of Vitiate, much of this dark side magic was lost to the Sith, and by the time of Palpatine, he was practically only a legend. While Palpatine was able to rediscover many of these abilities, he was killed and vanquished before he could rival the power of Vitiate. After all, Vitiate had over 1,000 years on the Imperial throne, while Palpatine had only 20. Krayt comes in second to last place for this section. Simply too much Sith magic had been lost by this point, forcing him to create new variations of old abilities such as Dark Transfer. And in last place, we have Nihilus, a being of pure power that had no need for spells or alchemy. However, in terms of raw Force potential, Nihilus certainly gets the top spot. He had no need for complex rituals or spells. Nihilus simply had the innate ability to strip a whole planet of the Force. Next is likely Vitiate, a Sith so powerful he had taken over a Sith colony world at the age of just 6 years old. However, I would wager that Adas held similar power. After all, he was the Sith chosen one. Next, we have Palpatine, a Sith with a similar Force potential to Yoda, and I would imagine the Tulak Horde was also at a similar power level. And finally, we have Endedu and Krayt. They both gain much of their power through their unorthodox and experimental use of the side, not through sheer Force power. Next, we have political power, which in my opinion is the most important. Palpatine is the clear winner in this regard. He was the only Sith who actually managed to achieve their stated aim of galactic domination. He was also the undisputed ruler of the Empire, having no real threats to his rule. In second place, we have Darth Krayt, whose empire was almost as large as Palpatine's. However, due to the instability caused by the rule of one Sith philosophy, his grip on power was not as ironclad as Palpatine's, and he was always at risk of being overthrown. Next, we have Vitiate. His Sith empire was powerful, but never actually defeated the Republic. Although his Eternal Empire briefly took over both the Sith and the Republic, he was soon overthrown. What's more, his Sith Empire suffered from internal struggles with Sith such as Darth Malgus straight up abandoning Vitiate's rule. It's hard to know where Tulak Horde would be placed in this ranking. It is likely that he held significant power within the Sith Empire, but the truth is we just don't know enough about him. However, he most likely held less power than Vitiate, but likely more than Endedu and Adas. In second to last place, we have Adas. However, this is mainly due to the fact his empire was so small. He held significant power over his subjects, who worshipped him as a god. If he had ruled during the golden age of the Sith, it is likely he would be higher up in this ranking. And of course, Endedu is in last place. Although he had power over an entire planet, this simply isn't good enough for a Sith Lord, putting him far below any other Sith on this list in terms of political clout. I believe that Endedu is the weakest Sith Lord on this list. Other than discovering Force Essence Transfer, he had few achievements. What's more, Vitiate was likely more skilled in terms of dark side Force powers and magic. I'm going to put Tulak Horde and King Adas equal in power. Both were incredibly powerful in the Force, but they ruled during a time where the Sith were much weaker and were barely a spacefaring culture. However, in terms of melee combat, these two were certainly up there with the greatest of all time. Next, we have Darth Krayt. There is no doubt that Krayt was extremely powerful. However, so much Sith knowledge had been lost by his rule, he was significantly disadvantaged when it came to the Force. His skill with the lightsaber and Empire were considerable, hence why he is not in last place. Next, we have Darth Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger. His Force Drain ability immediately makes him one of the most powerful Sith. However, his skills with the lightsaber were lacking, and I believe that a Sith such as Palpatine or Vitiate would most likely defeat him. So, who is the most powerful? I believe that the title of the most powerful Sith goes to Vitiate. Vitiate held political power over 2 empires, was pretty much unkillable, and was highly skilled in many dark side abilities. Palpatine was from the rule of 2 era Sith. He gained his power through treachery, not through military might and dark side power. As I previously stated, Vitiate simply had over 1,000 years of extra time to enact his plans and perfect his skills, therefore making him the most powerful Sith Lord of all time. If you want to learn more about the Sith, their past, and how they were formed, then make sure to check out this video.
All right. I mean, that was interesting.
I
I knew some of this stuff. I didn't know the full depth, but
yeah,
it was interesting.
I enjoyed it, honestly. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't know that, you know, they could go that far with like that one dude who can just like, who was like basically sucking the life out of one planet with just straight force, man. That's
Yeah, no technique. He's like, hey man, about to take this whole planet on. Oh,
he seems like he might
but
be powerful if that's the case. If his force energy is that strong, then he can make someone like come on now.
that's it. It's up, bro. But hey, bro, that's us checking out the most powerful Sith. Any final thoughts, Jess?
Like I said, it was interesting. Learned some things I didn't know about, especially being like a Star Wars fan and reading about the lore when I was in elementary school.
Same.
And revisiting is just like a huge flashback and like, you know, recollecting like, you know, the old days. So it was cool, definitely cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Like I remember reading some of this stuff as far as like in the lore and the comics and all that other stuff, and all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I recommend checking it out. Check out other old dude. I'll put his stuff in the description. But other than that, like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back with another one. Peace.